Hello and welcome to Coffee Talk with Clint and Tim. I'm Clint.
And I'm Tim, and it's coffee time in a very sunny Philippines today.
And I have my coffee here in the evening in the Great Pacific Northwest, and we're excited to be with you again, folks, for another coffee talk. We promise we're going to work really hard to get this in around 5 minutes or so. I know some of the recent ones have been a little bit longer. Tim, what are we going to talk about today?
Mindset, one of the most
All
important
right.
things behind ITB.
Fantastic, fantastic. I see that we've got a screen of the income staircase, which always gets me fired up because it's kind of a perpetual goal that we're all trying to move up the income staircase. Why do we have this on the screen?
Well, it shows that a member can move from one level to the next level. And there's a really good theory behind all of this. And if you watch the last two videos that we just did about surfing, you'll get a lot more information about that. However, one thing I did talk about in that video just a little bit was that you have to work this system. This is not a system that if you join it and just sit back and do nothing, it's going to reward you. You have to work it. And one of the really important things about working this is that you can't work it once a month. You've got to do it every day. It's a little bit like going to a gym. You know, don't go to a gym once a month and expect to look in a mirror and go, wow, I look good. You got to exercise that muscle. And it's the same in ITB. You have to turn up every day and do the work that's required, and also train your team to follow your example and do the same work.
Absolutely. That's a really good point. I think that applies across the board with everything in life, whether it's exercising, whether it's, discipline with your kids, whatever the case may be. And one of the nice things, though, Tim, is I think here with Infinity Traffic Boost and the income staircase, the Power 11 compensation plan, once you're doing the work and being consistent, it has a kind of a chance to go on automatic pilot, doesn't it?
Right, it absolutely does. And I don't know if any of the viewers know, but I've been involved in show production for nearly all of my life. And people say, "Oh my God, you have such a wonderful job," because I'm standing on a stage or we're getting whatever. But they don't see the work that goes into it. And success is not sexy. It's about doing the same thing every day. And sometimes it's boring. You click on some ads, you click on some ads, you click on some ads. And then one day you've got $100 or $200, or one day you've got enough to buy a TPO1. And if you just do the surfing, I think the calculation right now is that if you just surf 100 pages a day, you can actually afford a TPO1 in about 80 days. Now, that might seem like a long time, but you can get there if you do it consistently. And once you get there, and once your team are doing the same thing, it starts to speed up a little bit. And bit by bit, you can get there.
Well, I think that's true, and I think we need to be abundantly clear that there's two parts to this. One part is either buying or earn into the TPO, and the second part, you have to refer in order to earn. We are a Bitcoin accumulation and advertising community. We're 9 years old, and we are infinitely sustainable because we have a profit and a loss, a balance sheet that always balances. So, what Tim is talking about is you can surf maybe about 80 days. And when your team does the same, all of a sudden you're going to go from earning 10 or 20 or 50 or 80 Satoshi a day to earning thousands at a whack when your team upgrades. So, Tim, is there kind of a fast track that might allow you to earn a little bit more, a lot more faster and set an example for your team?
Yeah, definitely. Hey, let's not buy that Big Mac tonight, and do yourself some good. One, you'll reduce all the fat that's going into your body, but two, you'll be able to afford a TPO1. And if you want to make success, you've got to create a little sacrifice every now and again. But believe me, at the end of it, it's worth it. So if you can get a TPO1, and then you go out and refer people who can get a TPO1, you're setting a very good example. Now, I have had people come to me and say, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be a free member and I won't upgrade until my 4 members come in and they upgrade first. And that is just a whole wrong way to think about everything, because your team will copy you. I mean, can you imagine setting up a pizza shop and saying, how I only need to sell 4 pizzas to break even and I'm going home? I mean, you just wouldn't do that. So you have to set the example to your team and have the faith in the system and show to your team that you have the faith in your system and say, hey, I believe in this so much, I've upgraded. Let's get you in it as well. And we can all make some money together. And let's help your members do exactly the same. And let's help their members do exactly the same. And you pass the knowledge down. I'm not saying you have to go down 16 levels and help all those people. You pass the knowledge down to your team, who pass it down to their team, who pass it down to their team. But the culture has to
Or,
be that we buy a TPO1 to get started.
yeah. And the beauty is, and we're going to repeat this again and again, two important things. Just invite and plug in. You do not have to understand the details. You don't have to understand how the sausage is made, as one of my good friends, Robert Burns, would say. And that is plug them into our community. All right. That's what makes sense. Now, Tim, I've always liked this graphic. What's that? That guy is running. He's jumping. He's skipping up the income staircase. And here's why. We just said right now, and we think we can get this time down, but the surfing to get on the income staircase, buying a TPO, buying advertising credits, and the ability to earn 80% commissions means you have to buy TPO one. Notice it says there's an optional step stool. Optional. The best way to go about this, as Tim said, is do your body a favor, pass on that Big Mac, or at this cost, half a Big Mac, and buy the TPO one. Set an example. Obviously, you want to buy your budget, TPO 6, TPO 7 if you can. But watch what happens when you buy TPO 1. When you buy TPO 1 for about 4,000 Satoshi, it says 3,200. There's a small fee for the low cost ones because of the transaction fees. 4,000 Satoshi is about $2.60 or 70 cents at today's prices of 65,000 Bitcoin, less than $3. But what happens when your team does the same? Now you're earning 2,500 Satoshi for every direct referral and every upsale that hits your pay line. You know how much the cost of the next TPO is? 6,400. You only need 3 sales and you can go to the next level. Now you earn 80% on 3 steps, 3 income stacks. I don't want to go into the comp plan. That's in the Power 11 presentation. The point is, please, in your best interest, buy the highest TPO you can afford. And if that's only TPO one, do it. You will set an example and you will see explosive growth as it permeates through your system. Does that make sense, Tim? You think we got that nailed?
Absolutely. And when I came in, I bought a TPO1 and I got some great results. And then I think I went up to a TPO5 and now I'm at a TPO9, which means I get up to 80% commissions up to TPO10. And what that does is when I have a new member come in and they go, oh, you're a TPO9. You go, yeah, of course. This system really works. You know, you really inspire them by the fact that you are a higher TPO. I mean, obviously don't go out and sell the children and sell the house and the cat and the dog, but only go to the level you can afford. But it really does it really sets a great impression to your team when they see that you're higher up the ladder.
Absolutely. And one of the things I've said in my whole business career, and I've had different communities with tens of thousands of members, and I've had people come back to me and remember this saying, please only purchase what you can afford. Stay within your budget, but invest in yourself. Okay. We designed this so you can earn 80% on one TPO level higher. So that's that constant incentive. And of course, once you buy a TPO level, you get the other ones lower. That information is all in the Power 11 video and in that information. Today's purpose is A, be consistent. Every single day, share with somebody. Post on your Facebook, in your Instagram. Talk to a few people. And remember, you're not selling, you're inviting. And number two, make sure that you purchase, if you can, and purchase the largest TPO that you can. You will see the results so much faster. You know, we talked about in the Power 11 copy talk yesterday. I want you to get to the point where you log in and you say, oh my goodness, where did these commissions come from? It will happen. if you're consistent.
Okay.
Good.
I think we
I
nailed
think
that
we
one.
wrapped that up.
All right.
Well, I think again, that's the reason why I like this staircase, because you have the chance to run up the staircase. And again, to let people know, the benefit to being higher is you earned 80% commissions to infinity depth at all levels, to the level you purchased and one level higher. And that's not insignificant money at the larger levels. And for those of you really scraping money together, even the TPO 1 and 2s, when you're earning 2,500 and 5,000 Satoshi a pop to infinity depth, that can become not only substantial, but addictive. You want to see that happen every day. So I think we've got it. Tim, thanks. Again, quick reminder, we're talking about consistency, and you're absolutely able to surf, to get on and move up the income staircase. But if you can purchase a TPO within your budget, please do it. Please purchase the highest level possible. Remember, you're investing in yourself, and we're here to provide you with the tools, the training, and the enthusiasm to share. You're not selling, you're just inviting. You think we got it, Tim?
Yep.
Rock and roll. Any last minute thoughts before we wrap this puppy up?
No, I think we've done it. It takes work. Let's go to work.
Absolutely. And remember, do the work up front. It's like whether it's a restaurant or any other business, you do the work up front and it begins to operate on its own with just your oversight. And that's what we want to do. Initially, it's not passive income, but once you get this engine going, once you turn this massive diesel engine on and get it humming, it can go for a long, long time and pay a lot of consistent cryptocurrency. That's about it. Thanks. I appreciate it. Tim, I think we did a good job there. I hope we did. I hope everybody appreciated it. If you have some comments, please post them here in YouTube. And you guys know the drill. Let's rock and roll, have some fun, make some money, and help a whole lot of people do the same. Thanks, everybody.